Good morning. Today we have Kite Haseo 1Q versus me, a 1 Don as white. I think it played pretty decently well. I did play a 5-3. I'm actually trying to be a little bit more inventive with my game, a little bit more aggressive, to get myself like out of my comfort zone and trying new things. I recommend this if you're stuck and you've been stuck for quite a while. Maybe just change a little bit of something in your game and just try learning it. Don't just like change it and never study, but like change it, study it, practice it, and see how it goes. So here I aim for a more influential strategy. I have my stones going towards the center, giving up the territory. Black does have three corners now, but I think it's okay. It's still not too bad for white. Okay, play some basic Josekis. I went here because I was hoping to get some sort of exchange like this so I could get the extension. But still fine. Later I can get to this move, which is quite big actually. But I went ahead and responded here first, played this. Then I went ahead and gone here, which leans on this stone, which will give me influence into this direction, as you will see. And then I'll have influence plus influence, which equals good for me, which is a smiley face, hopefully. But I think another idea would be to just go here directly. It extends from the wall, but also bullies this a little bit. So you can see black is a little uncomfortable, and then maybe I could go like here to build it. That is another option. Yeah, black went here, trying to make sure that this is manageable, and then save the stone. This one, it looks fancy, but it's just a fancy way of doing it. It's just saying, like, if you cut me here, I'll just play it like this. And then I can still surround you. It's just saying that, hey, if you want the stone, I'll give it to you, and I'll just get more influence out of it. Something along these lines. Of course, I would try to read a little bit more, but that's the idea. It's just a fancy way of gaining influence. Okay, so now I get black reducing the influence, and now we get a little bit tricky. White can actually invade this area, which will unsettle this black stone, and then as white runs away, this black stone will also be attacked by this wall right here. So black will also have to run away, and it'll destroy this area without giving too much profit because black will still have to play defense. That is the idea here, but I couldn't figure out exactly where to play. And I took a step to go up top first before doing it. And black very nicely played a fencer. We weren't sure if this was like perfect or not, but I think it was okay. It was a pretty okay idea. If we played out as normal, I think black would settle quite easily, and then I would be floating. I have no foundation. Black's group right here is canceling out the wall. It was a bit uncomfortable for me, but it wasn't like too bad or anything. But I felt like playing a simple game was just not going to be good enough. So I actually went here, which is only like a 1 point mistake. It wasn't even that bad. But what it does is it makes the game a lot more unconventional, a lot more complicated, right? So by making it more complicated, it becomes more of a reading intensive game, which I want. I want to trust my reading. I want to rely on my reading. And so I picked a move that both would work with this stone while also looking at this corner. Because if black gets too invested in this stone, then I'll wrap around and take all the points in the corner and then get back down here first. So yeah, that was the plan. Black very nicely responded in a calm, effective way. And I just ended up fixing. So it's not too bad for me. I did get some influence right here. The game is still really close for both sides. I believe it was within 2 points. So yeah, I don't think it did too bad here. But black also did good, which is kind of what I didn't want. Black went here. I forget if this was a slow move or not, but it did give me the initiative again. Went ahead and played here to continue building this center. And yeah. And now I went for an invasion. I think the invasion point was here, according to AI. I could not figure out which one of these that I needed to do. I could not figure out which one to do. I spent so much time and I just didn't know, so I just picked one. I think it was okay. It wasn't too bad. Black played here. It was a little bit interesting timing, so I went ahead and tried to punish. Now we'll get into pretty much the deciding factors of the game. Right up to here, like the game is pretty much even. It's pretty close for both sides. We're getting a little bit lower on time though, but I think it's still relatively a good game for both sides. I really was trying to be more aggressive though and trying to fight for control. Um, and so here you can see that a lot of things are happening at once. So these stones are surrounding the white stones right here. This is surrounding these black stones. But if black comes through, these stones will get surrounded. So I'm trying to prevent that by going here and squeezing this stone in order to connect back to my stones, which will again surround these stones. So a lot is happening all at once, right? So I went ahead and started trying to play defense first. I start settling these stones, but I'm trying to do so in a way that unsettles these. Okay, and then Black was looking at the cut here, but I think we ended up looking at it with AI and also with like just looking at it with me in my reading. It felt like it was going to be okay for me. Black also agreed, so we played it out this way. This one was a minor mistake. White should have played here, and the reason is because Black has this nice move. And here's where it goes south because I actually didn't know how to respond to this move. The proper response is here, but it's actually quite difficult. So I think if I had just played here, the game was a lot more even. It was something I could control. But because I played an awkward shape, it was something I didn't have the reading for, and I was also getting low on time. So it just wasn't good. There's like no fallout from here. So now I'm like 6 to 8 points behind for the first time, but I'm trying my best. I'm still gonna fight here. I'm not gonna just give it up. So I'm still trying to run away while cutting off these. These I cannot save in Sente, so it's just not worth it right now. And Black can always come back here to pretty much like life with this group, which should make this weak. So I have to try to live right here using the distance between these stones and this stone and attack those. And then later, if I can get out right here, then I can slide under and unsettle this group right here. So I'm still fighting. I'm still in the game. I'm still fighting it as best as I can. So I start poking and prodding all of these cutting points. I was looking at some variations right here, try to turn into some sort of capture race and maybe like that. And I was trying to do last move first. I think I was correct on some level. It wasn't perfect reading according to AI, but I think I was along the lines of what proper idea would be. So Black ends up letting me live in order to just get strength. I went here, which it ended up being a slow move, but I had my reasons. The idea was I was reading this sort of a life and death sequence, um, and I believe something along these lines. And what I was thinking about was if I needed to take the eye like this, I could do so, but Black might be able to connect like that. Um, Clearly, the reading wasn't perfect. I think there's several reading mistakes here because I think I could have just done this as well. And then there's this idea, which also threatens the eye. But yeah, the reading here was not perfect by any means. But I was low on time. I'm not the AI, so I did my best. But that was what my plan was. And so I played this move and thinking that I'm threatening making a very nice life, which will unsettle this black group, and I'm threatening this cutting point, which will give me the points I need to catch up because I was about 15 points behind in cash, right? So if I could catch up the cash, it'd be nice. But black very nicely took the timing to start attacking these stones, just not letting it the pressure, and was fine with actually sacrificing these if they needed to, simply because this attack right here was way too powerful. Okay, so at this point, I think the big mistake here is if I had just fixed right here, I could still try to do all that later. I'm alive right now, so I shouldn't be too worried about it. I can do all my entire plan later after this group is alive. However, at this point my brain started shutting off and I started tunnel visioning a lot, and I started getting like really mentally tired. Probably because I'm out of practice. I went here simply because I was planning to squeeze these 3 stones, and if you read it just a little bit, it actually can be quite dangerous for black to just willy-nilly play and capture those. Simply because once I do all this, I'm actually in a pretty good position. So I had a good plan, but black also read it out and counted it, so it just didn't work. And then I just get really, really, really dumb really fast. As we play out this, and I'm trying to squeeze these stones as best I can. I escape with the cutting stones quite nicely, just get an exchange. But after this move, this black group is fine because it can't lose a capture race to these, no matter what. And when I played the peep here, I was actually planning to start making this into some sort of capture race, maybe like this, or like this. So that way I can make eyes during this capture race. But I thought, okay, let's threaten the peep first, and then black actually very nicely countered it. Because if I go here, black always has this. So I have to fix this, and then black squeeze the cutting stone instead of just fixing. So that was actually quite nice. And then I thought, okay, then I'll just go back and kill this. But I forgot about these two stones being dead. And there's no way for me to gain an extra liberty here, in the sense that it'll give me enough to win this race. So at this point, it's just done. Game's over. So black plays here, and I'm like, okay, maybe I squeeze it more. I'm like, this isn't even Sentei. And then I just resigned. I was like, clearly my brain is fried. Like, I can't even read a capture race now. It went from like I'm reading a 4-group battle to like I can't even read a simple capture race. My brain was fried. I was low on time. I was down on like 30 points plus. I was just, it was done. I was done. I don't think I played bad. I think it sort of went downhill after this key move right here. And then after that, I think my brain got tired and I tunnel visioned on these, which messed up that, which led me to tunnel vision on this, and it was just all kinds of bad from there. I think the lessons to be learned are this key move shape, but otherwise I think it was okay. Still trust my fighting. However, the tunnel vision I think came about because I have not been practicing as much as I should be because I have been working too much. So make sure you keep up the your go problems every day. Make sure you keep up practicing every day. Otherwise, you might tunnel vision. If you find yourself tunnel visioning a lot, then you're probably not practicing enough. So that's the story of this game. Hope you guys enjoyed.